It is lunchtime across the great state of Alabama. This is week 1, 4:30 this afternoon. Boise, South Florida. That will get underway. 6 o'clock tonight. Same state in Orlando, Bounce House. Jacksonville State will get the season going against the national championship winning coach Scott Frost in Central Florida. His valiant return there for the Golden Knights. UAB tonight down at Protective Stadium should be, hopefully the rain will stay south. Did you got your rain gear for the sideline?
No. I mean, I have rain gear. I wasn't planning on bringing it. I guess I should now.
I think you would probably be wise to throw it in your bag. Just being prepared.
Heavy rain, light rain?
Looks like in the light variety. Doesn't look like
rain.
Doesn't look like thunderstorms. Not like what they're going to get in Tallahassee on Saturday.
Please not weather delay.
So yeah.
Because you know what weather delay equals for me and
you. Yeah, that's just not the way you want to
rolling into the house on a Friday morning about 2 a.m.
Well, for you, because you still got to, but I'm fortunate enough to be in a location where
you're fine.
I don't have to deal with the same stuff.
No, the network studio is nice and cozy. You're good.
Yeah, it's gonna be happening tonight. All the TVs going.
But it should be a really good crowd though, because I know that Alabama State, they'll bring in a lot of fans.
It's always a great game between Alabama State and UAB.
And I do sense an energy and an optimism from the UAB fan base, just based on some of the changes, not only roster wise, but on the defensive side of the ball. You got a new coordinator, you got an NFL staff on that side, and headed up by Steve Russ. And from everything I've heard, it will look a lot different than it has in the last 2 seasons, and that's a good thing.
Just a couple minutes ago, Rob Pate, always scheduled to be on the show on Thursdays at 11:45. Unfortunately, cell phone signals, some things were going on from his phone, and we were unable to conduct the interview, but he was texting me, and a lot of Auburn people, they love listening to Rob Pate on Thursdays, and I just wanted to pass along what he communicated with me. He says Auburn wins 31-21. Auburn's defense creates havoc, wins the turnover battle. He also stated the Auburn offensive line will be the difference maker. Over 150 combined starts in college football. Over 100 starts for an offensive line almost equates to a 10-win season. He says Jackson Arnold needs to be efficient, not perfect or insanely good. Just lead well and make wise decisions. Baylor will get the ball out quick because AU's pass rush will be improved. Secondary and linebackers must be physical and tackle well in space. So that is Rob Pate's breakdown, which is incredible. That's why we have Rob on. No one knows that better than Rob. And he says Auburn wins 31-21. We had Rodney Orr on earlier in the program from Tider Insider. He predicts Alabama to defeat the Tallahassee Seminoles 30-13. That's the final score according to Rodney Orr. 2 Tuscaloosa News writers, Colin Gay and Chase Goodbread, they have predicted the game. Colin Gay has Bama winning 31-17. Chase Goodbread, Bama victorious 24-13. The 2 Seminole beat writers for the Tallahassee Globe-Democrat, they predict Alabama to win the game. The National Weather Service is predicting not who's going to win the game, but there's an 80% chance of heavy rain and thunderstorms throughout the game and into the evening.
Somebody reminding us that it was a wet game in Baton Rouge for Alabama last year. We were going back to how has Kalen DeBoer fared in weather games.
Yeah, that's right. It did rain some. I'm not sure that
didn't it taper off right around kickoff that they had a bunch of rain.
But I do think was it the first quarter or so in Baton Rouge that it came down pretty heavily.
They all run together, man.
Because I think a lot of people were starting to be concerned about Jalen Milroe carrying the ball in the weather.
Talking about last year?
Against LSU. That was a wet game I believe in the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning, yeah.
Or maybe in the third quarter, something like that.
Jalen Milroe did it.
Didn't matter.
Nope. The other side story today that we've been following, and so many of you have been chiming in, is this rub going on between Conrad Van Order and Hastings.
I love that. You prefaced a story we've been following.
Well, I mean, it's sad to be completely honest with you.
It is. See, two guys.
It's disappointing.
It is sad, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is sad.
How just an easy, nice, friendly competition like the office football poll is already driving a wedge between two individuals that root for the same team, both Alabama fans.
That screams football season, though. Driving a wedge between people, friends, family.
A couple of weeks ago, we're leaving Social Taco when Hastings came up there, and I wish I'd have taken a picture because I was coming out after Hastings and Conrad, and they were walking together and just talking like two brothers. It was a picturesque day. It was a Chamber of Commerce day. And if I could just send that picture to both of them right now and be like, look, you want to destroy all of this, what you had over some little tiff in an office football pool and some comments that were made. Life's too short, guys.
Yeah. Y'all just need to bury the hatchet.
You got to stand for something, though.
Or you'll fall for anything.
That's right.
And then meanwhile, when Conrad is being irritated by something Hastings said or didn't say or vice versa, then all of a sudden FSU Dave chimes in.
Oh, yeah. Now we have other wrestlers coming from the back running into the ring.
Yeah, I mean, now there's an alliance between FSU Dave and Hastings. And
you got Auburn fans now supporting Conrad on the text line.
That's wow.
Yeah, that's shocking.
Taking shots at Hastings.
Well, deserved for Hastings, but, you get what you get.
And then you got FSU Dave that has taken umbrage to the statement that you said that there is a what'd you say? Whoop ass is coming to Tallahassee?
Yeah, can of whoop ass, Pat.
Okay.
Straight to Tallahassee.
Now, see, I would expect like Molly to say that about Nebraska tonight against Cincinnati, but I don't expect that to come out of your mouth.
I've tried to play nice for the majority of the offseason, but now I don't know. I'm feeling antsy today, and
he is
best
nervous.
part of me is,
I think Molly's hit the nail on the head.
So we have people that are
that's right,
that are texting in. They're trying to get caught up. Where's the text? Do you want to read the text from Hastings this morning? Okay. Apparently, this all happened, Brandon, this morning.
Yeah, this was very early this morning. So quickly, we have an office football pool that we have here amongst those of us at Jox, and we were at Social Taco, and a number of listeners said, hey, is there any way that we could be a part of it? So we said, yeah, sure, we'll let you be a part of it. So Hastings joined the fun. Well, this morning, there was some communication. Once Conrad found out that Hastings was in, he made a joke about how he was going to take his money and he was going to absolutely just kill him in the office football pool. Well, those comments got back to Hastings somehow. And then once those comments got to Hastings, he responded by saying, yeah, somebody willing to brush their teeth with another person's toothbrush for $100 and lose a debate to Bama hater doesn't scare me. He needs to worry about Don and let the big boys handle this. Well, we start the show, we read the text, and you go back and look at it on YouTube.
It was $224, by the way.
All of a sudden, Conrad is
thank you, Landrum,
rolling his eyes and just like blowing off this whole Hastings text. And so then Hastings responded to seeing the way Conrad was acting, and he said, seeing Conrad's eye rolls and sour body language when you bring up the beef, but just vindicated my response to his attitude. I was going to watch a few of his Mountain Brook games this year and be supportive. Now he's dead to me. I can't wait to take his money that he was going to use to watch Taylor Swift's wedding. Sorry, Paige. And that's where we stand.
Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions here, but for people who do not pull for the Alabama Crimson Tide, this could be a welcome sign. You've got injuries to two starters. And now you have
And don't forget about Jaden Roberts.
You have, and Jaden Roberts. And you have two huge Alabama fans that were really good friends. And now are name calling. They're taking shots at each other's families.
Taylor Swift is in the middle of this now.
Don't even.
Questioning,
my heart can't take it, Pat.
questioning manhood. I don't like these tea leaves, Pat. I don't like the way they're reading.
United we stand, divided we fall. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing two good Alabama people.
Yep.
And they got a beef. And now all of a sudden, what's going to happen if FSU wins the game? Then all of a sudden,
we'll never talk again.
Just really disappointing.
And
you're making Molly cry, Conrad.
Toughen up.
And you know who the culprit
I
is?
just hate seeing friends not get along.
What'd you say? Who's the
You know who the culprit is? Ole Miss fan.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
Damien.
Yeah, no.
Damien started all this.
Damien's the culprit of a lot of things.
Pat
but not
Smith,
this
fanning
one.
the flames.
Nah, that's not me. I did not do that.
Yeah,
This
I
is
love
not
how
me
Pat's
involved.
subtly throwing in, and somehow or another, this information got to this person and acting like he's not the ringleader of it all.
That tells me that Pat's concerned that potentially an 8-4 is headed their way in Oxford.
That's
Yeah,
what
it's
it is.
12-0. It starts tonight Saturday night against Georgia
See,
State.
Pat's trying to turn Alabama against themselves because he's secretly in the back of his mind knows that castles are going to be crumbling in Oxford, right?
Please.
Or whatever that Taylor Swift
Yep.
song said.
Please, please, please.
Yep.
Don't you deflect what's really going on here is between you and Hastings.
No, the
and
real
FSU
problem
Dave.
is Pat wants the vintage Ole Miss helmet, and he can't have it, and so he's taking it out on all of us. Isn't that right, Pat?
Yoga studios be shutting down in Oxford, won't they?
At least one of them will be.
At least one of them will. Sorry. We're closed. We're open for your phone calls and your texts. 800-239-WJOX. Let's go to Samuel. Samuel, would you like to chime in?
Yes, sir. I would love to. I think Alabama's going to win 34-0.
34-0?
Oh, 34-0? Nothing?
Gus gets goose-egged?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I think we'll crush them.
Well,
FSU Dave, you need to text in and let us know when the last time Florida State was shut out.
yes, please do. Samuel, thank you for the phone call. 34-0.
34-0.
There's confidence.
I'll to be honest with you, I don't even know the last time any college football team was shut out, didn't score a point.
Now, quickly, let's go to Corey. Hey, Corey.
Hey, Landon, how are you?
Doing well. Hope you are.
I am optimistic about tonight in downtown Birmingham, but I want to get your thoughts on tonight's matchup.
I'm as optimistic as you are. Defensive side of the ball, that's where it starts. You got a quarterback that got 8 starts last year in Jalen Kitna. Feel pretty good. Interested in seeing how the offensive line plays, but don't sleep on Alabama State. This is a team that ranked in the top 15 in the FCS the last 3 seasons in total defense, and they got a quarterback in Andrew Body that played a full season back in 2022. He's been hurt the last 2 years. He's really, really good. So that defense is going to be tested early, but I'm optimistic like you.
Yeah, Alabama State. Alabama State looks like they. I think they can compete with anybody at the FCS level and compete with half of the FBS teams in Division One. So I'm really optimistic about tonight. I'm not going to get a score prediction on this game, but I will get a score prediction on the Alabama-Florida State game.
Okay.
I would say Florida State wins by the final score of 20. No, I'm going to say 34-31.
Okay, 34-31 Alabama?
No, he said Florida
Florida
State.
State. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Corey. Hey, thanks for the phone call. Go Blazers.
According to our crack research staff here at Three Man Front, 2006 Florida State lost 30-0 to Wake Forest. That's right, Wake Forest.
Thank you, Hastings, for sending that information in to us.
Whoa, wait a second. So you and the Hastings are now communicating.
Yeah, he sent me that. He said, hey, throw this one back at Dave. I think we're good.
Interesting development here in the last 30 seconds. But I'm not sure if Hastings has seen that last communication that me and Conrad had, so I might need to share that with him real quick, make sure he understands what's going on.
You guys have buried the hatchet then.
We have no brother left behind. Hey, if we can't come together against the evil that is the Florida State Seminoles football program, then nothing can break.
Since you guys have come together, I'll start reading the texts that are taking shots at Hastings. Jamie says, heck, Hastings negative butt annoys me. Thank you.
Dang.
Hastings sounds like a something baby.
Hastings is a nice guy.
He is a very nice guy. Super nice. Jerry, Uncle Jerry from Hayden, says, I still say Alabama 31-0, and the Barners lose 28-14. Hey, guys, Dustin here. I'm a huge Bama fan, but I see Auburn winning 34-17. I also see Bama going 9-3 with losses to Georgia, LSU, and at Auburn. Brandon
Certainly
says
possible.
Conrad is rivaling Howard Stern as the most disliked radio guy. LOL. Well, you know what? You'll take his bank
I was
account.
about to say, I will happily be Howard Stern.
Another one reads, if Auburn wins, will they roll the trees outside of the stadium?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
I don't think so. It's not your
Oh,
campus.
sorry. I'm thinking Toomer's Corner. Oh,
No.
they're talking about at Baylor. No.
They
They're
will
not
not
gonna
roll the Baylor trees.
No. I thought you were talking about the students staying in Auburn.
Hey, we have a little bit of a little something going on here.
What?
We're getting a completely different vibe than what Conrad was just reporting moments ago.
Conrad, you're lying? Is that what you're doing? Trying to make this thing go away?
Hey, I'm Molly.
Who is this from?
This is from Hastings.
Okay.
All right.
This is brand new from Hastings.
Conrad placing blame on his actions on poor Pat is classic. I'm worried those Auburn fans are supporting him for a reason because he sounds like Hugh Freeze. I have not spoken to Conrad. I have blocked his number for all of his lies. I'm now pulling for FSU to cover.
He didn't say to win. He said to cover.
Drama.
So which is it? You're telling everyone in Radio Land that you guys are communicating, and now he's sending in a text saying that he's blocked your number and he's taking shots at you.
No, Pat, I'm so selfless that I went and found that stat myself. And instead of taking credit for it, like I apparently should have in hindsight, I was going to give it to Hastings. And I was going to say, hey, look, Hastings is helping out the show. He's going and doing some research behind the scenes. I was giving him a compliment. I was giving him a free attaboy. But what does he do? No, he wants to throw it back in my face. So that's fine, Hastings. You don't have to be grateful. I was just trying to do something nice, bury the hatchet. I'm doing my part here. So the ball is now in Hastings' court.
Well, based on this last text message, it does not seem like that is going to get rectified before kickoff.
That's disappointing.
Conrad,
I
why
hate
don't
to
you
hear
be the
that.
bigger man? Invite Hastings and his wife on the couples trip with you guys.
Why don't you do that?
Yeah, Hastings, come on. We're leaving in an hour and a half.
Hastings, throw a bag together. Go grab your wife.
We'll see you down there. I'll send you the door code.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour, Brett Norsworthy, WHBQ Radio, the Ole Miss Radio Network, as they get ready for Georgia State coming up on Saturday night. He will join the program. And if you remember last Thursday, he predicted that Idaho State would cover against UNLV, and they did. We'll get back to your text messages as well. This is Three Man Front on Jox.
Shrapnel everywhere here on this Thursday. Man, if it's this way on the first college football Thursday of the season, just imagine what it's going to be all season long here on Jox, your home for college football and more. We got infighting amongst the Bammers. Conrad and Hastings. We're not playing this up for radio. This thing has gotten nasty behind the scenes. And in between breaks, there is a lot of vitriol. Molly, hate that you're exposed to it and seeing this as a young, impressionable young lady.
Bad influences.
Mm-hmm.
Truly.
We are.
Really disgusted.
But makes you realize that you have a lot going for yourself. You
Yes,
were raised.
thank you.
You were raised right. I know Conrad was raised right, and Hastings for that matter too. They both come from really good stock, but
We all rebel at some point, Landrum.
it kind of puts in perspective how to act, right? And even though you want to say it or you want to text it, how about a little filter? You don't know what kind of day the other person's having. Apparently, these two are now having a bad day.
If you don't have something nice to say, you shouldn't say it at all.
And as fans of a particular team, this is the time that we come together.
Would you not agree? I mean, I very clearly extended the olive branch minutes ago, and it was slapped out of my hand. Can we at least agree that
We will agree on that.
I
You
tried.
tried to be the bigger man.
I did. It's okay. Hastings might be twice my size in real life.
He is.
That's okay. His biceps probably as big as, my torso, but that's okay. We can still get along and be friends. It's fine.
Somebody's saying, wow, the show turned into Reddit real quick. Bunch of babies. John, thank you for that text. Can't read that word. He was asking who Hastings was.
He's one of our wonderful callers. That's true. There are probably some people, because Hastings doesn't call in as much as he used to. Who is this guy? He's one of our listeners. He's at Social Taco all the time. He's very loyal to the show.
Alabama grad.
Good guy. Yep, Alabama grad. Very nice. But yeah, comes up there and chops it up with us at Social Taco, and apparently no longer a fan of mine.
You brought it on yourself.
I did. This is what I get for talking behind people's backs. I thought Pat was a loyal confidant, but apparently he's a double agent.
I just thought it was unfair, your comments. I mean, when someone can't defend themselves.
Well, that's the whole point.
Well, this will be a fun side story watching y'all in the office football pool.
It will be. Hopefully I do better than I did last year.
Yeah, I think you stopped even playing
I
a
did.
month into it.
I did. No, I stopped. I made it longer than that, but yeah, it was rough.
In all seriousness, another game that's taking place tonight involving Molly's team, Nebraska and Cincinnati.
That's right.
How surprised are we that Nebraska is only a 6.5-point favorite?
I'm not, really.
It's gonna make people in wheelchairs stand up.
That's unreal.
That's your DB right there, Molly.
Oh, yes, it is.
Lockdown,
Wait,
Legion
what-
of Boom.
He learned it from a former Alabama player, though, so.
Who got cut by the New England Patriots yesterday.
Yeah.
Right after we
yeah.
talked about him,
So I
too.
was vindicated in everything that I said.
It's unbelievable. Deion Sanders was doing an interview on his coach's show. And he's been 2 years in Boulder. He's about to start his third season. And take a listen to this exchange between the anchor and Coach Prime in regards to some of the bigger surprises that he's had there at Colorado.
Is there anything about Folsom, about this stadium that surprised you, that you didn't expect?
Yeah. The smell of weed in the second quarter, man, it surprised the heck out of me. Like every game, I'm like, dang, like it seems like it's like a light up quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like, so is this the quarter that y'all chose? Like, I'm serious, it's a TV timeout, it never fails, and I'm like, wow, what's going on? Because I've never been high a day in my life, so that's kind of new to me.
That's hilarious.
So
Like he had to throw that in there at the end. I've never done it before.
It's not nothing about Ralphie that's being retired now.
Right.
Because he's indifferent to running, which, by the way, I'm indifferent to running. No different.
It's pretty relatable.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Nothing about that. Nothing about his sons in the NFL. Nothing. It was just, okay, what surprised you? And it's the lighting up of weed in the second quarter of the Colorado Buffaloes game.
Yep. If you're not used to it or ready for it, especially like I wasn't 15 years ago when I went to that Seahawks game and I was sitting there in the upper deck. and it was loud.
Well, you get to play the fun game now of skunk or weed. And unfortunately, you get to play that in a lot of places now.
I should have known as we were going through the metal detectors, and they have the little plastic receptacles that you put your items in, and all these glass bowls and pipes that people were putting.
Wow.
Wait, people were taking actual.
This was before it was legal in the state of Washington.
See, I'm
And I
just
was in
thinking like
Seattle.
the little pens or whatever that people
No,
use.
but this was before all the pins and all of that stuff. This was actual
like people would
plant going into actual lighter and lighting it up
in the bleachers.
apparatus. Yes.
That is.
Yep.
That's
It's crazy.
A little
And look,
ridiculous.
nobody, law enforcement, nobody batted an eye. You light up a cigarette out there, they're form tackle you and slam your face into the mud like Avery Johnson's dad did his son.
I just put that together. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't. That just seems like a lot of effort to do that at a sporting event, but to each their own, I guess.
You know what's wild? We went to Boulder when we went out there this past February, and we were actually on the campus. I had to use a restroom in one of the buildings where they had classes going on. Never smelled it once out there.
Really?
Mm-mm, not one time.
Interesting.
Glad to know that they're studious and taking care of
It's a
their-
good school.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. Well, there's an opportunity if you're an Auburn fan, you want to perk your ears up right now because this is a can't-miss opportunity that we're bringing you here, courtesy of us at Jox 94.5 and Total Sports Travel. We're partnering up to give you the chance to go see Auburn and Oklahoma live in Norman later this season. One lucky winner is going to score a trip for two that includes round-trip airfare, a 2-night stay at the National Hotel in Oklahoma City, 2 tickets to watch the Tigers and Sooners, and transportation to and from the stadium. All you have to do to try to win, text in the keyword Tigers, Tigers, to 205-834-9450. Again, text the keyword Tigers to 205-834-9450. So don't miss your shot at the ultimate game day experience, courtesy of Total Sports Travel and your home for college football, Jox 94.5.
In college football, and that's why right here on Jox, this is why people all over the country know that Matt Rule, I don't know if he still listens. I'm guessing he still does, but he did certainly when he was at Temple and when he was a head coach at Baylor. He listened to our show. But this is really neat. Coming in from the app, David K says, longtime Baylor fan here. Enjoy listening from Waco. Thank you, David. We appreciate it. Be hospitable to our Auburn brethren. James says, let Conrad and Hastings fight. It'll get people up out of their wheelchairs.
Let's do it. Nah, he'd be. I'll acknowledge he would. He'd probably take me out.
And Jamie says, okay, everyone bet the farm on these final score predictions. Bama 45, FSU 17, Baylor 31, Auburn 21, LSU 10, Clemson 35. Whoa, Jamie. Not going to bet the farm. Don't own a farm, but if I did, I wouldn't bet it. The Southern gentleman, Brett Norsworthy, in his seersucker, talks college football and his bold prediction of the weekend. He's 1-0 on the season. Next. Three-man front on this Thursday. College football tonight. UAB hosting Alabama State. Kickoff 7:30. Pregame. Myself, Pat Smith, will be a part of that beginning at 6:30, and I'll be on the sidelines. Pat will join the broadcast throughout the game as he will be giving score updates from all the other games, including Molly's Nebraska Cornhuskers as they take on Cincinnati, and so much buzz around that campus with the recent engagement of a pop singer and a former Cincinnati Bearcat, now NFL player.
Well, we got Patrick Mahomes, 2 or 3.
Sure, you do. Brett Norsworthy, the Southern gentleman, he's a part of the Ole Miss Football Radio Network and a friend of the show, and he loves college football like we do. Brett, how are you? Happy College Football Thursday.
Happy College Football Thursday to y'all, and we got a little taste of it last weekend. I enjoyed those games very much, but I like the wall-to-wall now through Monday night, and the TV rating for last weekend in Dublin was really good for college football, and it's here, and no doubt for us, the number one sport. But across the TV business, it's the number 2 sport. Everything chases the NFL, but it's number 2, and everything else is chasing college football, including the NBA and Major League Baseball and everything else.
All right, so let's talk about not the Missouri game tonight. They will start the SEC addition to college football this year. They'll play the first game involving an SEC team. But let's talk about Friday night in Waco, Texas, the game that we've been obviously breaking down a lot over the course of the last week or so, and that's Auburn there in Waco. What do you anticipate you're going to see from this Auburn team? And whether they win or lose, will that change, I guess, the thinking process of how you think this Auburn team's going to do this year?
Pat, I said a bunch this summer, I wish I could pick W's and L's for Auburn after this game. Well, that'd make it a lot easier for everyone, wouldn't it? But you don't get to do that. So you pick them before it, and I pick Auburn to win tomorrow night. I pick Auburn to play well. I have Auburn going 9-3, and that is a great year. I think that's new contract year for Coach Hugh Freeze if he does that, and deserving of it. I know he can coach. I'm still stunned that the quarterback play has been this lackluster under his watch the last 2 years at Auburn, but I think he's going to get it right this year. And I know when he gets that right, he'll get the rest of his offense finally going. The rest of the sport, a little bit between the rules and just catching up to the hurry up, no huddle, and kind of 5 wides and the pace of play, it caught up with it. It got Gus Malzahn in the end a little bit at Auburn and at Central Florida. I don't think it'll get Coach Hugh Freeze. I think he starts strong tomorrow night, and they win at Baylor. If they don't, we know what the rest of the weekend and leading up to really the next challenging game for them will be like. But if they do win, think about the Auburn fans. If they win tomorrow night, they get to sit back the rest of the weekend and grill and lake time and golf and enjoy and can go to church on Sunday, proud 1-0, a road trip. I think a great coach at Baylor and Dave Aranda. But if you don't, you got to sit there and kind of stew in it all weekend while you watch the rest of college football. And then the questions would really resonate about Hugh Freeze's future at Auburn. But I don't think that happens. I think he has a big game tomorrow night and a big year, 9-3 for Auburn for me.
Brett, you mentioned Gus Malzahn. He's now calling plays in Tallahassee for Mike Norvell. How do you look at this game, and do the injuries in Alabama's running back core with Jam Miller being out, the recent injury of Team Keenan there on the defensive line, does that change your perspective, your outlook for the matchup?
Landrum, it doesn't. I think Alabama absolutely paced Florida State, and Castellanos will really regret a lot of his summertime comments. But what if they don't? Are we prepared? Are y'all prepared for a world that if Alabama, after that year last year, we know the losses to Vanderbilt, we know the loss at Oklahoma, we know that effort and how they looked in that bowl game against Michigan, and most Bama fans pretty patient, understanding and realizing the shoes that he was filling, the biggest ever in the history of college sport. I made the comment this week, not only Coach Nick Saban, the greatest college football coach ever, I think he's the greatest coach ever of any team sport in American sports history. So that's what Kalen DeBoer had to replace. And if Bama were to lose and start 0-1, then I don't know that we're prepared for the meltdown that we would see.
I'm telling you, there's been a few times in my radio career that we have come on the air on a Monday after an Alabama or Auburn loss, and let me tell you something. this one would be pretty historic. This would rank right up there.
It would be a deal changer, for all those people out there that during the Saban dynasty years wanted to talk about Bama privilege. No, here's what the privilege was. They had the best material and they had the best coach and they were walloping everybody. But for all those people that wanted to think that, if you ever thought that, I didn't, but if you ever thought that this would end, this would always end, this would end when you came kind of to a 50-50 game for Bama. What's Bama? We wouldn't do that anymore, but I think they win big. I've got it 38-7. Bama rolls over Florida State.
Brett, how about Texas, Ohio State? The hype around Arch Manning could not be any higher. What happens Saturday?
I'm going to divulge. I won't tell it all, but I sent a text to Cooper Manning this week. I said, now I can only expect you and Hyde Manning to be rolling on the ground like the Kansas State quarterback and the other brother there this weekend. I said, so y'all keep it peaceful in Columbus. And he sent back laughing emojis. No, we know the pressure on Arch Manning, and the Mannings eat pressure for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I think he plays well, and I think he has a good year this year. And he will have an even bigger year next year when he comes back to Austin. But I don't think it's a Heisman Trophy year for him, and I don't think it's a national championship year, even with that great defense. I have Texas 9-3, and I have them losing Saturday in a very close game. But it is maybe the blockbuster opener ever, and I like it's out of the chute Saturday morning. We don't have to wait till Saturday night or Sunday night or even Monday night of Labor Day weekend. It sets the table for the rest of the day on Saturday that is arguably one of the great scheduling days in the history of college football. I sure hope it lives up to it.
All right, so I asked you about the Auburn outcome, if that was going to make or break your thinking for the rest of the season. What about LSU and Clemson? I mean, that is just a huge, monumental matchup, and Brian Kelly just cannot win that first game of the year. Will that give you any signs that LSU is one way or another, depending on the outcome?
It will, and it will be a lot of overreaction to it and to Ohio State and Texas, but they both defeated teams in that game. They have the rest of the year to come back. We know what one ding used to do to you in your college football profile. It really sent you well to the back of the line. It doesn't do that anymore, and you've got the rest of the year to come back from it. I have LSU. I've been everywhere in this game, but I finally settled in LSU winning 28-27. And as I said last week, I think LSU, Georgia, Alabama, and Ole Miss are the 4 10-2 teams from the SEC and the 4 representatives in the college football playoff.
Any reason we should believe that Tennessee should be on upset alert?
I don't think any at all. In fact, I like where Tennessee where they are heading into this year. I like Josh Heupel talking about the traditional things of the sport. We know he can get the offensive going, but I like him talking about running the ball. They did it last year. Dylan Sampson was SEC offensive player of the year last year. I don't think we give him enough credit for that, how they did it last year, really with a tailback tight end offense. I think they have the best tight end in the conference in Kitselman. I like Tennessee going into this game, but did we realize, did anybody appreciate last year Syracuse going 10-3? That may have been the least talked about double-digit win team ever. Now they're replacing all kind of personnel, and I'll just remind Tennessee fans of this. I know they know it, but I'll remind the rest of college football fans this. In 1998, Tennessee opened with a win over Syracuse and was on their way to a national championship.
They sure were. Brett Norsworthy joins us from the Ole Miss Radio Network, also a host of the ever-popular the WHBQ afternoon show there in the wonderful city of Memphis, Tennessee. All right, so let's talk about your Rebels as they get ready to host Georgia State. First ever meeting between these two teams. It's kind of odd that a team out of Atlanta has not made its trip over to Oxford or vice versa throughout time. But talk to us a little bit about this Ole Miss team coming out of fall camp and just the expectations of Austin Simmons taking over the controls.
Well, they're very high. They should be. Coach Lane Kiffin starting year 6. I love saying it. I still can't believe it. Couldn't believe we got him. Couldn't believe we kept him. Can't believe he's starting year 6 and can't believe what he's done. 44 wins. A win Saturday moves him into 3rd solo all-time behind only John Vaught and Billy Brewer.
That is crazy. So he'll be 3rd all-time with a win?
All-time. Win Saturday. He'll be 3rd behind Coach Vaught and Coach Brewer two greats, two tough guys and good guys, and he'll be third, and we're going to win Saturday. So, he's going to get there, and just how he's raised our expectations. I love running into my Ole Miss friends. You got some out there, thinking maybe, at worst 9-3, maybe even an 8-4. Like me, many thinking 10-2. I know my friend Rob Fisher at Grind City Media that used to co-host with me in the afternoons at WXPQ. He's got Ole Miss 11-1. Goodness, I hope he's right and I'm wrong on my 10-2. I love being able to openly and really honest with ourselves talk about Ole Miss being at that level, and instead of trying to figure out a way we can get to the .com bowl.
Brett Norsworthy joining us, and this is what we anticipate. Your visits are always great, but last week you absolutely nailed it. You stuck the landing. You were so adamant on Idaho State plus all those points against Dan Mullen, and
I was all summer. I have heard from too many people that Dan Mullen is enjoying Vegas too much, enjoying the golf, enjoying the splashy life, and I'm scared of coaches that have been to the mountaintop in another job. And look, when you've been the head coach of the Gators and you've had Mississippi State at #1 in the AP for a lot of the fall of 2014, you've been to the mountaintop. Do you really want to go out there and do it at Vegas? And I'm scared of the rest of the year for him and his tenure at UNLV. I'm scared of guys that have had their dream jobs. And as he was coming up as a young assistant coach, whether it's Utah with Urban or wherever he's been, he wasn't sitting there going, someday I want to be the coach of the Running Red.
But you know what? The thing we talk about all the time, God bless America, Dan Mullen will get paid millions of dollars to lose football games there. And
he will. And the poor UNLV fans, the ghost of Tark is really big. What did they do to deserve as football and basketball coaches Josh Pastner and Dan Mullen?
That's a great point. Oh, I forgot Pastner was there.
Yeah.
Brett, your I Ain't Scared bold prediction we anticipated every week. What is it this week?
I've been talking about it with you guys since March, and you know what it is. It's Virginia Tech plus 8.5 over South Carolina. Brent Pry and the Gobblers, the Hokies, they win 35-31. They win it straight up.
Woo!
My goodness. We got theme music and everything for Brett now.
I love that. Now, I did make a terrible mistake last week, and Coach Boyette corrected me through Pat Friday night at the high school football scene. I forgot a great left-handed quarterback, and he was so right. And, Pat, I was wrong even when you corrected me. Bobby Garner did start the Notre Dame game. He was more the runner and Tim Ellis the thrower. And a lot of people kind of had that in that era. Georgia had Matt Robinson as the thrower and Ray Goff as the runner. Arkansas had Scott Bull as the runner and Mike Kirkland as the thrower, and Ole Miss. But Bobby Garner did start that game over Notre Dame. So that was a lefty starter that I omitted, and Coach Boyette corrected me.
You had me at Paul Head from Vestavia. I remember him from a Vestavia basketball camp when I was a kid, and he was several years older, but he came and helped out with the camp. So.
Paul Head's a great guy. I bet he would. I've told you all my basketball camp story, haven't I? I'll go to Eddie Sutton's basketball camp, summer of 1976, and Houston Nutt was on the basketball team as well at Arkansas, and Gene Cady was one of Coach Sutton's assistants. And he talked to all the campers just like he would a college player with the colorful language and such. and he was berating me with that colorful language. What kind of parents would spend hard-earned money to send a slob up here like you to basketball camp? And I looked at him. I said, Coach, I just wanted the campers T-shirt.
That's great. Well, Brett, listen, you guys have fun on Saturday night, 6:45. That will be the kickoff time. Lane Kiffin looks to become the third winningest coach in Ole Miss Rebel football history with a win over Georgia State. It's going to be a fun season. We get it all kicked off this afternoon at 4:30 for week one, and I'll catch you a little bit later on your show this afternoon. I appreciate it, Brett.
Thanks, Brett.
You got it. And how lucky are we to live in this great country and to be able to enjoy college football.
No doubt.
God
no
bless
doubt.
America.
Amen. Thanks, Brett. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's Brett Norsworthy joining us On that Higginbotham hotline, everyone joins us on that hotline because you deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Responses to what Brett Norsworthy just told us. We'll do them next on 3-Man Front.
Well, let's see if Brett Norsworthy goes 2-0 on this season. Last week he said Idaho State take the points, but he has been all over that Virginia Tech upset of South Carolina. He does not like South Carolina at all this year. He has been consistent ever since SEC Media Days, and so he is living up to that by going with his bold, I ain't scared prediction. The 3-Man Front Twitter poll question of the day, Molly, has to do with not Alabama or Auburn, but the potential of other SEC teams that might go 0-1 over the weekend.
Yeah, so we gave you 4 options. We asked about Tennessee versus Syracuse, Texas versus Ohio State, LSU headed on to Clemson, and then South Carolina versus Virginia Tech. And right now, 70% of our voters are saying that LSU, they're going to be the SEC team that gets their first loss after week 1.
70% of our audience says LSU will take the L there in Clemson, South Carolina.
I haven't really heard anybody say that LSU is going to win that game. besides an LSU fan.
Well, I'm sure Matt Moscona and Sean Fox and those guys, they probably feel pretty confident.
Which, if you're going to be contrarian, tells me that LSU probably wins the game.
Does that also apply to Florida State?
No.
Okay.
No. It's not blanket across all the games. Just that one in particular. I do want to give a special hello and thank you to TR from Vestavia, listening on the app, text into the show, and he says, driving through Mississippi with a carload of kids on the way to Baylor, war damn. Thank you, TR. We appreciate it.
We do have an update on the Hastings-Conrad feud. Molly, what is the very latest? We understand Hastings has released another statement.
Oh, I can't believe I'm adding more to this, but here we go. The nice things Conrad was starting to say had almost persuaded me to move past our differences. Then he turns around, stabs me in the back by threatening physical violence towards me. It goes to show that Pat was telling the truth, and Conrad can't be trusted. The saddest part was I thought I was invited to the beach because we could all finally bury the hatchet, but it's all lies.
When did I threaten physical violence?
You girls could crack a couple high noons and talk it out right there on the sand dune.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd have a great time hanging out with our wives. I tried to bury it. I gave you the olive branch.
You did.
I extended it.
Yeah.
And he snapped it like a twig.
We got people calling for cage matches.
That's what we should do at Social Taco.
Tables, ladders.
I have already acknowledged
Loser leaves town.
Hastings is going to win a fight between the two of us. I'll admit that right now.
As we begin the final, Jacksonville State, they will be in Orlando taking on UCF. Right here on Jox, you can hear the UAB Blazers pregame show begins at 6:30. Landrum will have all the highlights of that as he gets you ready for the 7:30 kickoff at Protective Stadium. I'll be part of the broadcast throughout the evening with David Crane. So much going on tonight, including Nebraska playing in Kansas City against Cincinnati. So I assume Travis Kelce and the Kelce brothers both will be there.
Oh, I hope so.
Will Taylor be there?
Ooh, I hope so too. Her first Nebraska game, I assume.
I just didn't know if I assumed that the Kelces would be there.
I think they will be.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if they weren't.
Should be. Earlier in the program, we heard from Rob Pate. He predicted a 31-21 win for the Auburn Tigers against Baylor. We had Rodney Orr on the show. He says that Alabama will cover the points, even despite the fact that Alabama's got some injuries. And the National Weather Service in Tallahassee, they are saying that there's an 80% chance of rain. So Alabama fans, if you're heading down, Tallahassee's not a bad drive at all from our part of the world in Birmingham. Go through Dothan.
If you have a driver.
But they say rain, so be prepared for a wet afternoon there in Tallahassee.
And I was looking at the forecast tonight for folks making their way to Protective Stadium. Looks like, according to the one I was looking at, a very slim to no chance of rain. I'm still going to pack the rain gear just in case, but should be good there. So don't let the weather scare you away. 5 questions from Pat, right? We're going to do that? He's got questions, Conrad. You're not getting out of here without questions. This is PatPonders.
I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
It's time for PatPonders.
Brought to you by Courtesy GMC in Trussville. I stopped by and saw Josh Gargis and Drew Lala yesterday afternoon there on Edwards Lake Road off of exit 32 off of I-459. And the inventory, it is just spectacular. I'll tell you more about some of the deals they got going on right now. Go to their website, courtesybirmingham.com. All right, question number 1. South Carolina's Dawn Staley, she has confirmed she interviewed for the Knicks head coaching job this offseason, and she says that if she would have been given the opportunity or asked if you want the job, she would have taken it. So here's the question. Do you believe Staley will one day be a head coach in the NBA?
No, I don't.
I will say yes, because I think somebody is going to, I don't know, break that barrier, whatever you want to call it. You're going to see, I think, a women's college coach that makes the transition to the NBA. We've already seen Becky Hammon, and I know that's a different example, but a female that has risen through the ranks of the NBA and now is in the WNBA as a head coach. And I wouldn't be surprised if she finds herself back in the NBA at some point. So, yeah, I think it would be Dawn Staley. She's younger. You know, I think maybe in the past, like a Gino Auriemma, if he was younger, maybe would kick the tires on that. But, yeah, I think with her age and her profile continuing to rise, yeah.
She's only 55, and I think if anyone in the current women's landscape of college basketball, I absolutely think that she could do it. And kind of, I don't want to say break the barrier, but, you know, become the first female NBA head coach. Why not?
I think that NBA owners feel like they're breaking the barrier simply by interviewing a female.
I 100% agree with that.
I do not believe that they will ever be bold enough, if you want to call it bold, to hire a woman as their head coach to coach in the NBA.
It seemed like it would have been a perfect time this year to make it happen.
Well, and I think the other thing, too, is, I mean, I don't mean this as a shot at Dawn Staley or any college women's coaches. You're probably going to go and be the head coach of the Charlotte Hornets, right? Like the New York Knicks, I mean, that is a big shift from women's college basketball to the Knicks. I mean, I think it would be maybe a smaller brand organization that would make that jump first.
Question number 2. Who passes for more yards this weekend? Jackson Arnold or Ty Simpson?
I'll say Jackson Arnold because of the rain.
I'll go Jackson Arnold, too. Weather, that's a good point.
Yeah, weather's good. I'd probably say Jackson Arnold, too, because of who he has as well.
All right.
And a Baylor secondary that's got Carl Williams out. Got an injury there. And then there's some concerns that, Jackson Arnold.
Question number 3. Which non-SEC school do you root against every Saturday?
Non-SEC school? Oh, Ohio State.
Michigan.
Can't stand them.
Michigan. Penn State.
Landrum has multiples.
This year, Illinois. But in the past,
I'll be rooting against Illinois.
In the past, Ohio State, but this year,
Do you
Illinois
see the
might
theme
take
developing
the
here? It's
yeah,
all
I
Big
know
Ten
you guys
schools.
hate the Big Ten.
Yep.
What's up with that?
Oh, I should have said Miami.
Who else?
So is there if there's one, he said, is Michigan still like your number one, regardless, just Michigan?
Yep.
And for you,
Ohio State.
Ohio State, and for you?
The Iowa Hawkeyes?
And mine goes back to
Over
interaction
Ohio
that I
State?
had.
At least they won a national championship for their conference.
Mine goes back to a personal beef that I had with their fans like 25 years ago at a bowl game. So,
What about outside of the Big Ten?
I don't know. There's not a lot of people out there that I don't really like.
any coach that, any team that Dana Holgerson's coaching.
Well, yeah.
Well, he's
a Cornhusker now.
I know. So he's a coordinator.
He gets
so
a
it
pass.
really doesn't count. Yeah.
So there's not one team.
like outside of the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. I just like watching college football.
It's very nice of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I know you root against Alabama every week. It's fine.
Every weekend.
She does.
It's fine.
Dang.
She does. She's got her little Big Al voodoo doll.
And Auburn. I hate everybody.
Wow, Molly hates everybody.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. All right, next question. What percentage of Notre Dame fans will be in attendance at Hard Rock Stadium for the Irish-Miami game this weekend?
Just in terms of
percentage,
the people in attendance?
Yeah, Notre Dame to Miami fans.
Oh, they travel
50%.
You said 50?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go like 40. I think it'll be a little lean towards Miami, but Notre Dame travels really well.
I would probably go 55 to 60 just because some Miami games I've seen in the past when they do shots at their stadium, there's not really a lot of people there.
I just take for granted that it takes a couple of weeks from all the Miami fan base to realize their season has started.
Will Tua be there? They should honor him on the field.
For what purpose?
He's Miami's the Dolphins quarterback.
What has he done?
That was my point.
Hey, he's trying really hard.
Will Mike Bobo be there, supporting his former quarterback?
That's a good question. Will
When was
Cam
the last
Ward
time
be
the
there?
Dolphins won a playoff game?
That doesn't matter, Molly. You're making fun of a man with brain injuries. That's cruel, Molly. That's cruel. You're making fun of brain injuries.
I'm not making fun of him. I'm just making fun of the Dolphins.
You like when his fingers curl up like that.
I
You
can tell
like
I
that,
do
Molly.
That's terrible,
That's
Molly.
sick.
No, I don't.
That is sick.
No, it's come after Molly Day. I don't like this.
Well, you just said you hated everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God for your teams.
Does it surprise you because she supports a school that, what's the quote again? What's the quote from the dude about the wheelchairs, the people in wheelchairs?
That's what I was going to say.
That's just terrible.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, that's the school you graduated from.
Yeah, go big or head.
He's talking about he's going to do something so spectacular tonight that he's going to make people that are handicapped get up and walk.
All I gotta say
Is he talking about Tua? Do y'all think he's that injured that he's in a wheelchair, Molly? Jesus.
No, Jesus could make people walk out
Yeah,
of it.
not this guy from Nebraska.
Not that
That is true. We did establish that yesterday.
that silly fella from Nebraska.
All right, next question. Which high-profile game this weekend will be decided by a touchdown or less?
Clemson LSU.
You think it'll be close?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think that's a field goal game, personally. So, yeah. I think Clemson LSU. And I mean, you look at their recent season openers that they've lost. They've all been really close, and they lose kind of at the last minute. So, yeah.
I'm going to say Clemson LSU, but if I were to pick a different, I would say Miami Notre Dame as well.
I'll also throw Texas Ohio State.
Less than a touchdown. Okay. All right, that's 5. I'm going to give you a bonus question. If you all look at your phones, I have sent you guys a color palette, and I will explain. This weekend in Atlanta, the town is going to be smothered in orange as Syracuse takes on Tennessee. So I started thinking about in the SEC itself, we got a lot of teams that have orange as one of their major colors. Okay.
The best color.
Texas has burnt orange, which is, if you're keeping score at home, that's BF 5700. You have the volunteer pumpkin orange or FF 8200. You got Auburn's classic orange. It's kind of brick-like in color. That's E87722 on your color palette. And then the final one is Florida, which is called citrus orange or FFA 000. So with you guys looking at the four schools, Texas, Tennessee, Auburn, and Florida, which shade of orange do you prefer?
I'll go with Auburn's. First of all, Florida, that citrus orange, if you're eating an orange that looks like that, I wouldn't trust it. Texas would be more of that earth tone, a little bit warmer. I like the Texas second. Tennessee would be third. But Florida, that color does not occur naturally in nature.
Dang.
Yeah, I think Auburn has the best shade of orange. Definitely they're the best. And that is my favorite color. So I'm obviously the expert on the color orange. But yeah, Auburn shade is the best. I actually like Florida's the second best.
The citrus orange.
Yes, the citrus orange. And I'll be honest, I mean, part of it is because of the tie. Tennessee's is last. That's a disgusting. Still not there yet, but I still hate it. So they're not as bad as Tennessee, but.
See, if I'm thinking like what I'm going to wear, I'd go Auburn orange first. Then I would actually go Texas orange, and then Tennessee, and then Florida last.
Florida last.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm with Landrum. When you look at them all together, it almost looks kind of red. I know it's not red.
Yeah, it does. It has, yeah.
But it has a little hint to it. Again, I know it's not red, everybody.
Molly's getting defensive.
Well, I know there's going to be people like, it's not red. No, I know it's not red. But when you look at it next to the rest of them.
So Molly hates everybody.
And I think
she wishes Tua was in a wheelchair.
And she hates Florida.
And she hates Florida and thinks their colors are red and blue.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pelham Gator's going to have a bone to pick with you next time he sees you.
Oh.
All right, that's today's PatPonders with a bonus question on a Thursday. Brought to you by Courtesy GMC. Right now, GMC Sierra 1500, save up to $17,000 on this brand new truck. Sierra 2500 HD, get up to $13,000 off this powerful heavy-duty pickup. How about a Yukon? Yukon XL, $5,000 off one of these top-performing SUVs. The 2026 Acadias, they have arrived on site. 9 acres of inventory. Get by and see them. I was there yesterday. Just the incredible inventory and the great deals they got right now, including the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. CourtesyBirmingham.com is the website. Go by and see Josh Gargis, Drew Lawley, the great team there at Courtesy GMC right off of I-459, exit 32.
Lots of your entertaining texts. We will do them next. 3-man front, Jox.
We will get to your phone calls at 1-800-239-WJOX, the courtesy GMC text line, 205-834-9450. If your doors and windows are sticking, these just aren't minor problems. If you're a homeowner, these can lead to serious issues down the road. So you need to call APS, Alabama Professional Services, 205-951-9717. They can fix your foundation. They can even tackle the sinking driveway or patio with their fast and clean poly-level system. So for foundation issues, wet basements, and sinking concrete, do yourself a favor. Call APS. The number again, 205-951-9717, or visit alabamaprofessional.com. APS, been protecting Alabama homes since 1977, and they'll protect yours too.
118 here on the show. Text line is open, 205-834-9450. The cut that Conrad played in the last segment featuring the Nebraska football player. This was
going to make people in wheelchairs stand up.
Okay. A response to that coming in on the text line from our buddy Matthew, who says, I'm a paraplegic and have been in a wheelchair since 1998. I want to be where this guy will be. Ha ha.
Well, that'll be at in Chiefs Kingdom tonight.
That's right. Josh weighs in. Funny how mostly everyone acknowledges it will be a close one-score game with LSU still losing.
Well, that's just kind of the script they've followed for a few years now. So
Drake says, don't be like that, Molly. It's orange, not Nebraska red. Drake's a big Florida fan.
Oh, sorry, Drake.
You said the Florida colors were red and blue? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Jason says, typical Conrad disdain for Tennessee answer. Go Vols.
Well, of course. I mean, you know what to expect.
Alex says, segment idea. Molly does a segment called Molly Whopped, talking about the biggest hit she saw in football over the weekend.
Yeah, and you can do your best Chris Berman. What? Yep. Every time you do the highlights?
You're laughing, but that's extra work for you. He just added a segment. Allen, 2 L's, and E. I just can't ever find myself hoping that Nebraska ever wins.
Oh.
Well, you have been in luck.
Yeah.
It's been a great run for you.
Yes. I always pick Alabama to beat Georgia.
I mean, recent history would tell you that's a smart way to go.
Bug Guy says, I think Molly would beat Conrad in a fist fight. Molly hates fighting and violence.
She definitely would.
I think I would too.
She definitely would.
We're never going to test it out though, but I agree.
No context, Gump's gumping. Back to Hastings and his appearance. Golf shirt tucked in with khakis, maybe a baby blue braided belt and loafers is exactly what I pictured with a guy named Hastings. He dresses well.
He does. He does.
If that's not your choice in
nice.
fashion, but yes, he looks respectable.
He does. He looks like a young socialite.
I don't think you sucking up to him is going to make this go away.
Obviously not. I already tried to give him credit for a great stat that I found, and he didn't want to take it. He didn't want the help.
The chasm grows larger between the two.
See, but you know what's going to happen is when Alabama wins on Saturday, it's all going to be forgotten. He'll be in a great mood. I'll be in a great mood. Hatchet will be buried. Now, if Alabama doesn't win on Saturday, we may never speak to each other again.
This one says, let's go corn suckers.
Woo!
Is that what they call them?
No.
Corn suckers?
So close. Autocorrect probably got him.
Jimmy says, have a UFC style fight between Conrad and Hastings.
That's a good idea.
At Social Taco, like Trump wants to do at the White House.
Or we could just do it at the White House.
Could we get the president here? Call Senator Tubbs.
I was about to say, ask Senator Tuberville.
So on Tuesday night, I can put a call in.
Do you see where I think this kind of got lost in the shuffle of things? I think it was Ryan Williams that said that Donald Trump called him after the Georgia game last year.
Sure did.
Some of these I can't read, but they're great. We're getting a forecast saying James Spann has said 65% of the afternoon scattered thunderstorms for Saturday in Tallahassee, not a washout. Will says any grown married man that's a fan of Taylor Swift needs to reevaluate his relationship with his paycheck and his college football fandom.
Yeah, Conrad.
How's that directed at me?
I don't know.
Because you'll be listening to it all the way down to Florida tonight. Which album?
AirPods.
Do you know this Brandon guy?
He's a big
he
1989 guy. He told
Is he?
me. Yeah.
Is that the one with
Welcome to You, New York.
Okay.
Or he likes Tortured Poets Department because that's the song that has Florida in it. That's about Florida.
Oh, I've got another text from Hastings. Molly, it's all yours.
Okay.
I mean, he's sending like essays.
Yeah. This
Because
is
you've
another
really
one.
ticked him off.
Well,
Yeah. Rather,
that sucks for him.
Rather than Conrad extending fake olive branches that are full of lies, he could take responsibility and apologize for all the smack talk he talked to Pat. Instead, he has placed blame on Pat, who is an honest and hardworking man.
Thank you, Hastings.
Conrad is clearly a pot stirrer.
No doubt.
I'm starting to
hardworking,
not.
yes. Pat will embellish at times.
Every
I'm glad
text
you
that
used
comes
that
in, it's
word.
getting less and less believable that it's actually Hastings texting.
I'm not
in.
going to call you a liar. We both have a tendency of embellishing. But him more so than me.
Pat
Molly,
is-
take a look at my phone, and you tell me.
Pat has been so proud of himself
No,
for the last
these-
3.5 hours. I mean, he is
These
proud
are
of
real.
himself. I'm sure they.
I have
sure
the
they
receipts.
look real.
I'm like, Dion.
Yeah,
Got the
sure they-
receipts.
Got the receipts. I'm
What's
not,
that? Chat GPT? What are we using there?
Nope, I'm not creating this. If you don't believe me, you want me to call Hastings live on the air?
Yeah.
Yes.
Call him right now.
Do it. Because you think he created that contact, and it's basically...
Yeah, no, I think Pat put his own
Okay,
number
here's
in
what
his
we do.
phone and named it Hastings, and he's been texting himself. the
Okay,
whole
no,
time.
all right. So this is what we're gonna do.
Give me his phone number and I'll call him.
You trust Molly, right?
I do.
Okay, Molly, I'm gonna hand you my phone because I don't want to put anybody on the air without their knowledge of them going on the air.
Yeah, bring me the phone, Molly. I'll call him.
No, she's gonna call.
Oh, you're gonna call him?
I'm
Okay.
going to call.
So you're gonna use my.
I'm the moderator.
Yeah, you're gonna take my phone where it says obviously and just no. You sit right here. I just don't want to put him on speakerphone.
We're about to find out how good Pat's Hastings impression is.
Just by knowing Pat longer than you've known him.
What? You got your mic on?
Yeah, it's on.
If
Okay.
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
he's willing to do this, it's probably Hastings.
I just want to let you know, Hastings, we are literally live on air right now.
Is it okay if we put you on speakerphone?
Is it okay if we put you on speakerphone so that you can speak with Conrad? Sweet. Wait, he won't be able to hear though.
Oh yeah, he won't be able to hear.
Well, just tell him to say something to Conrad.
Yeah, put him on speakerphone and just
Tell-
and
tell-
just tell him we'll
Here.
let him say something to
I'm
Conrad.
gonna put you on speakerphone, and you can say whatever you want to Conrad as long as it's clean.
Yes, perfect. Good job.
Okay.
All right, put him on speakerphone.
Okay. Okay, Hastings.
Turn the music down.
You are on speaker.
Yeah, okay. Well, hey, Conrad, I just want you to know how disappointed not only I would be, but Nick Saban and Tua would be after you going after not only a friend, a confidant, but an Alabama alumni who myself was really excited about this Florida State game. I actually think we both had him to cover in the pick'em. But after the smack that you talked to a good, honest man of Patrick Smith, and I do believe he is an honest man, and the embellishing, that's all for the show, but what you did was hurtful. And I thought that we were friends. And to be honest with you, at this point, all I can think about is how I'm going to end up buying Dave a beer, and you're going to end up buying Dave a beer, because after you said that we were going to open up a can of whoop ass, now we're probably going to lose, Chief. So you just think about that when you jinx us. And when that happens, just know there will be a cage match, and this is over.
There you go.
That was beautiful.
Thank you, Hastings. Oh, he hung up.
Oh,
He dropped-
that was awesome, actually. That was really good.
Okay, so yeah, I'm making the whole thing up now, aren't
Molly's imitation of Hastings is pretty good.
It is really good. I think the biggest crime out of all of this is that Pat has convinced one of our wonderful listeners that Pat is an honest man. That is the greatest crime of all.
Hastings tried not to laugh when he said it. By the way,
That was good. That was
keeping Hastings to 10 seconds, that was never going to happen.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Love you, Hastings. Thanks for calling in. Hope
I
you
love
guys
it.
squared everything away.
All right, more three-man front on this Thursday. This is Jox.
.132, it's the College Football Thursday. We appreciate all of our guests. Will Vandervoort, Clemson Insider, Rodney Orr, Tiger Insider, Rob Pate via text giving his thoughts on Auburn and Baylor, Brett Norsworthy from the Ole Miss Football Radio Network giving his I Ain't Scared Bowl prediction. All of that can be found there at the podcast at joxfm.com. Appreciate all our friends in Mobile, the Gulf Coast listening, there in the capital city of Montgomery, up in North Alabama, in Huntsville, the surrounding area, Tuscaloosa, all of you in Jox Country. Thanks for tuning in. Also, those watching on Jox TV. Tell you about Prize Picks. We got college football tonight, and Prize Picks is really simple to play. You're just going to pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get those picks right, you can cash in. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. You can join millions of users like me and sign up today. Download the app today. Use code WJOX to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WJOX to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. You don't have to win to qualify or to get that instant bonus. Tonight we are going, thank you. College football for the weekend. More or less, Carson Beck, quarterback of the Miami Hurricanes, taking on Notre Dame Sunday. More or less than 1.5 passing touchdowns, Pat, in your opinion, for Carson Beck?
More.
I'm going to go more on that one as well. How about Arch Manning? 0.5. That would be rushing touchdowns plus receiving touchdowns. So does he catch one on a trick play? Do you think he runs for at least 1 touchdown, more or less?
Less.
I'm going to go less on that one as well. More on Carson Beck, less on Arch Manning, and those 2 player projections. There's all kinds of player projections across college football, but also across all sports. Prize Picks. Download the app today. Make sure you include WJOX. Get that instant bonus. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
So I was reading a story where NIL payments for 2025's college football players is up. College football players this season, they are expected to earn $1.9 billion in 2025. That's according to a new report from NIL data platform Open Doors, which has direct insight into half of the Power 4 and the group of 6 schools. That is almost twice as much as the $1 billion college football players earned last year through NIL. So total earnings for college football players have risen by an average of $202 million each of the past 3 years. Last year, Open Doors estimates college football players made $853 million from NIL deals facilitated by school collectives and $150 million from other commercial deals. Also in this report, 62.7% of Power 4 starting quarterbacks are transfers. Starting quarterbacks in the Power 4, 62.7% are transfers. Of course, Ty Simpson at Alabama, he's been on campus, but Jackson Arnold, he's one of that 62.7%. That is a transfer quarterback, a starter in college football. That's an amazing number of how much they transfer at that. But how about that, Landrum? $1.9 billion in NIL payments this year for college football players.
I wouldn't have guessed that high. I would have thought it had been around
double
a
for
billion.
what it was last year.
Yep, but 1.9. Whew. When does that taper off? No time soon, according to people you talk to in the business.
No. If anything, it's just going to go up. That's what I think potentially is going to happen. Earlier in the program, we talked about talking to Rob Pate. He predicted Auburn winning tomorrow night 31-21. We will have plenty more predictions tomorrow as most of the Baylor insiders, they will be posting their score updates and who they predict to win, just like you'll have the Florida State writers. They'll start chiming in. We had 2 from the Tallahassee Globe-Democrat. They reported that they are taking Alabama to knock off Florida State. So the Homer folks that cover the team, they say that Alabama will win. So we'll have a lot more predictions tomorrow. We'll have Wimp Sanderson as one of our special guests, Mike Rodak from Bama 247. We'll have Kyle Parmley talking high school football. Will be week number 2 in the high school football. Matter of fact, there's some games going on tonight across the metropolitan area in high school football. So it is a busy time. With 4:30 this afternoon, we will have South Florida playing host to Boise. Hope those guys from Idaho are used to some nice, humid weather, because that's what they're going to get this afternoon in Tampa.
Yes, they will, but it's a great stadium to play in, and I would guess that is Albertson still the sponsor of Boise out there? as much as they love playing in front of the 18,000 season ticket holders that they have that support the Broncos, that will be a festive and hopefully weather permitting crowd inside of Ray J.
Yeah.
They have the new stadium. When is the new stadium opening?
I think it's a couple more years.
Okay.
It's very impressive. On the Bill Clark podcast that we recorded yesterday that will air tomorrow night, it was interesting. He was talking to us yesterday about how they really went and visited, and they're trying to model, what South Florida, because South Florida's had this like on the books for a while. Well, actually, South Florida is going to be trying to do what McLean Stadium is. McLean Stadium is the one that Bill Clark was telling us.
45,000 at McLean Stadium in Waco.
Yeah. That was the one that Bill said. And now South Florida is looking at McLean Stadium just like UAB did when they built Protective.
Let's go to our friend PG, who wants to weigh in. Hey, PG, how are you?
Well, I was good, and I was going to talk about Don. Threw me under the bus a little bit. I'm not a Bama hater. I don't know why he said that, because I always like Bama to win some big games for me, especially Georgia. But, I picked FSU. And it looks like I'm the one that really picked FSU. All these FSU fans seem like we just hope we don't lose by the covered. We want to cover at least. I said, what is this? I mean, you want to win. You don't want to just – I just don't want to get beat bad. What does that sound like, I feel like I'm going to be the only one to hang my neck out there for FSU, And
that sounds like, PG, a fan who watched a team go 2-10 last season.
God, yeah, but there is another year, and then you get pumped up, and hey, we're fired up. You're going to go. I don't think you go undefeated, but you're going to go after the big games. I mean, look at us. We're going after LIU, the Sharks. But besides that, I got my picks in, and Molly, disappointing. Even Landrum too on this. How could you pick Tennessee better colors than Florida? They look like the dreamsicles of a popsicle. They look like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers uniforms from the beginning. That is the most ugliest orange you could even ask for to put on. And ours is maybe not second or first, but lower. We got to be ahead of Tennessee on them colors, Molly. And I picked Nebraska on one of the top 15 picks. I sent it in, Pat. So
Nothing against your colors, PG. I'm sorry.
Now that orange and that blue, to be honest with you, PG, that looks like it should be like a neon beer light.
God, what do you next say? Man, are we Bud Light or something?
Well, no, I didn't say that. I just said a beer light or a neon sign. That's the colors. That's how they hit my eye. But look,
well,
be proud
Trump
of your colors.
Yeah, Trump lives in Florida. He needs to, if he doesn't, we need to ask him if he likes the colors. If not, he's got to change the thing like Cracker Barrel did back to their old logo. But
oh, boy.
I'll use anything I can, but I couldn't believe y'all said these are uglier than Tennessee colors.
Sorry, PG.
But we love you guys.
Oh, we love you too. We appreciate you, man.
Bye.
Chomp, chomp. Is that what they say? Chomp, chomp. Boise, their colors, their orange and their blue, that's the same as Florida, right?
Hold on, let me look.
They seem like they're the same colors.
Let's see. It is, you know what? It is very similar to this citrus. It's very, very good eye. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's closer to the Florida orange than the other SEC oranges.
Yeah.
It is it's D64309. That's the way it looks like. So that's very close.
Yep.
Very close to Florida.
If you went no logo, you could fit in at a Florida pep rally.
Yes.
And nobody would know the difference.
Very, very much so. Very close. Good catch by you.
All right. We'll continue as we roll on this Thursday edition. It's game day, 3-man front on Jox.
Closing minutes of this program today. Appreciate you tuning us in. Number 25, Boise State in South Florida. That is a 4:30 kickoff on ESPN. At 5 o'clock on the Big Ten Network, you can see Ohio taking on Rutgers. And then later tonight on the ACC Network, East Carolina takes on NC State. Jacksonville State, they will start at 6 o'clock, but that is an ESPN Plus game. Just going down the list, on the SEC Network tonight, you'll have Central Arkansas taking on Mizzou. You'll have Oklahoma State hosting UT Martin. That is an ESPN Plus game. This one, actually, I'm interested in this one, Landrum, because he's been telling us about this particular game for the last few weeks, and he's going all in. And I'm talking about our guy, Brian Edwards from Vegas Insider. He has been all over Buffalo and the points against Minnesota. Yep. And that's a 7 o'clock game tonight on FS1. So
is that still at 17 and a half?
Let me see if I can get an updated.
When he originally liked it, I think it had opened up at...
It's 17 and a half.
At 16, somewhere around there.
I like that too. Said that, especially that hook.
Yeah.
The 17 and a half. So right now, Minnesota, 17 and a half point favorite. Brian Edwards, who joins us every Wednesday, he's going all in on this one. I saw him tweet out earlier today. He's doing 2 units.
Well, the other one he likes is Miami of Ohio, plus the points at Wisconsin.
Yep, and that's an 8 o'clock kickoff. And Wisconsin is an 18-point favorite. And then tonight, Nebraska and Cincinnati. Molly will be up late. Molly, are you going to be able to make morning Jox in the morning? Because you're doing the show tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll be good. My dog gets me up at like 5 a.m. anyway, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you can hear Molly and Damien tomorrow morning on the Damian Mitchell Show.
This time featuring Molly Robinson.
Yeah, featuring Molly Robinson tomorrow. Bright and early, 6 a.m.
You guys should call Conrad.
Molly
do the show from the cell phone from the beach.
Molly will have the first reaction to Nebraska's win over Cincinnati.
Well, let's hope it's happy tears and not sad tears.
I'm not asking you to know this off the top of your head, but this is something if you can look it up later and let me know, because I am curious.
Okay.
When was the last Nebraska Power 4 opening win? Like on week 1?
On a neutral field.
No, not neutral field.
Wait. The game that they had a couple of years ago when they took on Minnesota.
We lost.
Good effort, Landrum.
That was the game that set college football back. Offense, anyways.
Like 50 years.
Was that like the 13-9 game?
Wasn't that like a Friday night game?
Yeah, it was a Friday game.
Yeah, it was a Friday night.
Mm-hmm. It was terrible.
Yeah, so I'm just curious. I'm not rubbing your nose in. I'm just curious. Like,
I'm
curious too.
When did you guys get beat by Georgia Southern?
That was my senior year.
Was that your opening game?
No. Ireland was our opening game that year.
Okay.
And we didn't have week 1 off. We had to turn around and play North Dakota the next week because that game was on my birthday. And then the next week, we lost to Georgia Southern and Scott Frost was fired. Never forget that day.
Yeah, so I'm just curious the last time Nebraska had a week 1 win against a Power 4 opponent.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to do some research.
Just curious. I think they'll win tonight.
Me too. Like, actually, not biases aside, I do think Nebraska will win.
So I brought this up a little bit earlier in the show, and DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM, they combined and they gave a consensus college football win total. The team that they have winning 10.5 games, Landrum, would you like to take a guess? More than any team in college football.
Who is this?
It goes 10.5 wins. Then the next team is 10.4, then 10.3, 10.2.
Who put this out?
This is DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM. It's all combined. It's a consensus of the win totals for every single team in the FBS. Who do you think they have as the number 1 team with the most wins according to those sports books?
Is it a Power 4 team?
It is not.
Okay. I will go
10.5 wins.
Memphis.
Boise. They've got Boise at 10.5 wins. Then they have Penn State at 10.4 wins. Ohio State 10.3. Texas, Notre Dame, Georgia, and Oregon, 10.2. Clemson, 10.1. Liberty, 9.8 wins. And then Alabama at 9.7 wins. So that's your top echelon according to Las Vegas. It's a consensus of DraftKings, Caesars, and BetMGM.
And for our Auburn fans, you said 8.1?
8.1. You already have the Nebraska deal?
Yeah, shout out to my mom who texted me from Lithuania.
Okay.
It was Oklahoma State in 2003.
Okay.
Beat them 17-7. The year before, it was Arizona State. We beat them 48-10.
And that was week 1?
That was week 1, yes. And then the year before that, it was TCU won 21-7.
Very nice.
So in the modern era, it's never happened.
The modern era, like in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Like in the post-NIL transfer portal era?
Yes.
It's never happened.
Yeah. Shout out to my mom for sending me that.
When was that?
2003. So I was 3.
I'm glad that her internet and that she is streamed into the program.
Just for reference, the last time that happened was the same year that Jetgate happened, and Auburn tried to hire Bobby Petrino in the middle of the night on the tarmac.
Sure did. So what we're just talking about, but yes, Langem, you're right. Auburn, according to the consensus Vegas, 8.1 wins, just right below Texas A&M at 8.2. I'm looking at other SEC.
I keep going back to the young lady who was with the Texas A&M outfit that we talked to at Media Days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She was not super high on the Aggies.
No, she was not.
But I keep going back and thinking about that every time I want to give them 9 or 10 wins.
You think back to what she told you?
Yeah. I mean, she seemed like she was pretty dialed in.
Yeah. LSU 9 wins. Ole Miss 8.7 wins. Mizzou 7.3 wins. Some people think they're going to win 10 games.
I don't.
Not Vegas. They say 7.3.
You know what? If they win 10 games, that means most likely they're going to have to beat Auburn and Alabama.
The Vegas consensus has Oklahoma at 7.3 wins, South Carolina 7.2 wins.
With Oklahoma's schedule, it's just I think they win more than 7 games.
Vegas,
but I would not be surprised if there's a lot of close losses.
Vegas believes Bill Belichick is going to win the same number of games as Florida and South Carolina.
Wow. South Carolina's the stinker there. Boy, you know, the South Carolina talk has really cooled since SEC Media Days.
Vanderbilt, 5.2 wins.
Yeah. And Norsworthy's got them getting beat by Brent Pry and the Gobblers this weekend.
Yep. Arkansas, 5.3 wins.
Okay.
Kentucky, 4.8 wins.
That's generous. Maybe. You think Toledo gets them or covers the number at 9.5 if it's still there?
Yeah.
I do too.
Toledo is listed as a Tier 1 program this year with 9 wins. That's DraftKings, Caesars, and BetMGM. That's a consensus.
It's Jason Candle's year.
Mm-hmm.
Blast off.
They also have Dan Mullen winning 8.3 wins.
Dan enjoying that life. You know, something that Brett said about Dan Mullen and how I am in total agreement there.
Yeah.
That it does make perfect sense. Because to me, I would have thought that he would have been mentioned for more jobs. And maybe behind the scenes, his agent said, Dan's not looking at. He looked like he was having a lot of fun, genuine happiness doing TV.
Mm-hmm. He did.
But it's like, you know what? If I'm going to get back in it, let's go to UNLV. Let's go to Vegas. Fun city. It'll be different. And they don't take their football too seriously, even though they've had some success in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
I can get away with not recruiting all year. Going to practice.
The flashy lights.
Wearing pants. Remember when we wear shorts to open up the season when he was at Mississippi State on the sideline?
Yep.
And they got beat. South Alabama get them that year? Was that South Alabama?
Might have been.
Yeah. In the good old days. Well, all the hay's in the barn.
Absolutely.
4:30 tonight.
Yep. 4:30. Be here before you know it. Pre-game show, UAB 6:30 right here on Jox.
Yep. Let's do it. Tune in for that. We will have a recap of everything that happened tonight. We'll preview tomorrow's games. We got Better to Forget It coming up tomorrow as well.
Yep, and Conrad has given me his picks.
Are they in a little envelope?
Mm-hmm, they are.
Good.
We'll continue to update you on the weather. What is that going to look like in Tallahassee this weekend? How it affects the Tide and the Seminoles. From all of us to all of you, God is great. Have a great rest of your Thursday.